Hello everyone, Fortress Forger. Welcome back to the channel. I just want to wish you all a very happy Easter. It was yesterday for me, so yeah, I hope you had a wonderful Easter. Welcome back. Today I have a special video for you. I wanted to show you my newest sword of the collection. I incidentally do want to sell it because it arrived and I was a little bit less than happy with it. Amazing sword, great quality, amazing. It's just, I mean, you'll see. But anyways, I just want to part with it because someone else would be able to enjoy it more, because the way I like to, the reason why I purchase swords is because I want to handle them, I want to show them to you, and enjoy them, you know, and also conserve them. And with this one, it's kind of hard to tell when buying online, the kind of condition that you buy these swords in. So it's a learning process, I guess. Yeah, so anyways, I will go ahead and shut up and show you the sword already. So this is a 18th century smallsword. This is the first one I've ever gotten from this era. This is the oldest sword in my collection. Honestly, the oldest thing that I own currently. This is from the 18th century, so the 1700s. No, I don't think it's from the 1800s. That's a little bit too far for these kinds of small swords. So yeah, definitely 1700s. So American Revolutionary War period, that kind of time. These are typically associated with officers, people like George Washington, the gentry, you know, gentlemen of the era. They would wear the small sword because it's very light, and it was primarily a dueling weapon. The point is very, very, very small. Not too sharp right now. It's kind of dull. Yeah, this is probably the coolest thing that has ever come through my collection. This is the lightest sword that I have ever handled. This is, I mean, I'll say in grams, but this is, I think it's like 283 grams. This is insanely light. This one right here, for example, this one is, it's over 500 grams. And small swords are typically around, you know, 400 to 600 grams within that. So this is extremely light. And it's extremely nimble. It is super duper maneuverable. I feel like I'm waving around a super thin metal rod, which is super cool. So I'll just show you some details. I know it's kind of hard to see if I can get that in there. There are some floral motifs on it. You can just barely make it out. Yes, there is a chip right here. Is that from a duel? Is that from you know, an officer, you know, blocking a sword? Like a broadsword or something, or is that from, you know, like just after its use time? You know, is it from dropping on the ground, or, you know, someone playing with another sword and just being a little too rough with it? I don't know, but I do know the sword is awesome. So obviously we have really thin fingerings right here. No, they're not big enough to put your finger through. They're just to lay on top like that. The blade has a very nice taper to it. Again, the etchings in here are amazing. They're really hard to see because of the patina on the blade. Yeah, and then you have this wonderful dish guard right here. There's no designs on the front, but the back you can kind of see a little bit. It's kind of hard to make out, but Kind of see some patterns on there. Wire wrap grip with Turk heads. Very ornate, very cool. The grip does slide around a little bit. But I mean, that's expected from these wire wrap grips. A lot of the times they just kind of implode and just, you know, like a lot of them don't have the grips anymore because their wire come apart, loosen, etc. This one, the wires are kind of coming up, so if you don't hold it the right way, it does kind of stick in your hands a little bit, which is another reason I'm getting rid of it, because like I said, I want to be able to handle my antiques. You gotta get a feel, like they're swords, you want to handle them. That's the whole point of owning them, at least for me. Yeah, so continuing on, it has a cut steel look to it on the pommel here. Same as the knuckle bow right here, kind of a cut steel diamond right there. The pommel is peened. I don't think there was any threaded pommels going around in the 1700s quite yet. That was more of a late 1800s kind of development. I have discovered that I dislike peened hilts due to tightening reasons, because this, when I got it, was super loose. I have since put a little bit, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of string I put in between the blade and the guard here, just to stop it from wiggling, because it was like really wobbly. That's really typical of these kinds of things, unfortunately. The way you would fix that is, unfortunately, having to grind off the tang, basically, because the way peening works is when you assemble it, the blade tang sticks up through here, and then you basically hammer it down and it tightens it. So when this was made, it was super taut, you know, fantastic, but it has since loosened over the hundreds of years, probably due to, you know, shifting, shrinking, that kind of things. And then often what happens is that the wood inside of these grips just disintegrates, and you're just left with the outside. And for the most part, they're pretty stable, because the wire keeps them in and kind of keeps it binded. It's just sealed essentially, which I don't know. I can see the wood under here. It looks perfectly fine. But yeah, so otherwise it's pretty stable. But yeah, peen right there. It's kind of hard to tell. It's really well done. But yeah, the only way to really fix this is to basically grind that peen down, hammer it out a little bit longer, to extend it through the pommel again, and then hammer it back down. But it's just going to keep happening over and over again. That's why I have a preference for hex nut tops or threaded pommels, essentially. Both these examples are threaded pommels. Or yeah, this one has a hex nut, the typical cut steel court sword from the late 18th century, late 1800s, early 1900s. And this is a threaded as well. It's a bit more disguised, because this whole section right here, this end cap, that unscrews, whereas this one, it is just that hex nut on top. But yeah, so so that's why I am going to try to sell this one, because it's just, I love it. It's I wish I could keep it in my collection. It's just like I'm gonna pursue getting all steel hilts. You know, just like this one. I love the cut steel on these. I mean, because this, it doesn't wear down like the wire wrap grips, and so it doesn't stick up, doesn't fall apart. It's all one unit essentially. But I really do want to try to find another 18th century sword like this one, because it's so light. These are all one-offs. You know, if if you have a sword maker from this era and you have him make two identical swords, they might look identical to the naked eye, but if you look really close, they're never going to be the same. Like, there's going to be some finishing that's totally different. And yeah, that's kind of, you know, what these swords are and why they're so unique and special. So yeah, if I was going to keep this, I would clean it up. It's 300 years old, so I was going to clean it very respectfully, using an agar solution gel, applying it to the blade and then taking it off. I've seen it on the Ipostswords channel. I'll go ahead and link his videos in the description, because that's where I discovered it. Fantastic source if you're into small swords. But yeah, so for these ones, I use the buffing wheel on them. This one right here, when I got it, completely black. I'll show you a picture if I'm able to find one. But yeah, completely black when I got it. For the court swords like this, they're typically, you know, within 100 to, usually 100 to 150 years old at most. So I do like them polished because that's what they're supposed to be. Some people like the antique finish. I do. You know, for example, I got this Civil War musician sword. This was one of my first purchases. And I restored it most of the way. I cleaned it pretty well, but I didn't want to kind of remove the history of it. I kind of left some intentionally. Because I like the way it looks, but it depends sword to sword to me. You know, some of them, like this one, they're faceted and riveted, which means they were made to look shiny. They were made to reflect the light and shimmer, you know, when wearing it and stuff. And I love that, you know, but you know, I also love the antique look to these. And so I will pursue trying to get more of these, but just because I want to handle them, you know, I want to feel the history, you know, and also trying to conserve this and not being able to take it apart because it doesn't have a threaded pommel. That's a downside because I know I will never be able to get into it, and also taking it apart will probably destroy it because the wire wrap grip, and I didn't really feel like just hammering it to tighten it because that would be kind of messing with it. So yeah, I will put the link in the description if you want to go ahead and purchase this. But yeah, stay tuned. I will go ahead and try to make some more videos. I will be going on my honeymoon soon, so I might try to like queue up some videos for you guys and set them to release while I'm on honeymoon, so you guys have some content. But yeah, I appreciate you sticking with me through this way too long video. But yeah, I just wanted to show you a cool endeavor in my collecting. This is the coolest one I think that has gone through my collection. But yeah, if you're interested, I will link my page in the description below. Feel free to poke around. I have some more swords up there. Some have been featured in videos that I've done, some have not. But yeah, feel free to check it out. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you had a happy Easter with your families. And yeah, stay tuned.